JJ, if you kind of take us back to Saturday, coming off arguably your best win of the season, hard to imagine that you thought your night was far from over. Can you just kind of take us into your reaction to the moment?
Yeah, obviously I got word that day that it was happening, and certainly a lot of mixed emotions, particularly around the loss of family members. And, you know, AD, Max, Jalen, like they were part of our family. And then there was also the excitement of getting a LUKA DONCIC and adding Maxi and Markief. And, you know, it is, as much as we can hyperbolize this trade as the craziest trade in sports history, it really is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to trade for a player of Luka's caliber in his prime.
Obviously, there is the one element of the business side, and then to your point, the human side. How do you balance and process those emotions as you do have a job to do?
I try to do it with empathy, and I try to, as best I can, give our players empathy, and the players that were traded empathy, and also the players we just traded for empathy. Like I've lived through a lot of trade deadlines. I've been traded twice. I've had really close friends traded. And I recognize that, you don't wave a magic wand and everything's okay a day later. Like this is something that is a process and it takes time, and our group's committed to making sure we get this right.
When it comes to the magnitude, as you just touched on, you're also a historian of the game, you're a fan of the game. Have you had a moment to be able to just kind of step back and really feel what just happened? Unfortunately
for me, this last month has been a lot. So I'm not in the reflective process, reflective mood just yet. My job is to coach this team tonight, try to get Luka acclimated and get him back on the court, and continue to build what we've built over the last month as we head into All-Star break.
Obviously, as a former teammate of his, now speaking of Luka, what excites you most to coach him?
Playing against Luka, playing with Luka, playing against LeBron, coaching LeBron, playing against Kobe, like the killer mentality, the competitive nature. Rob mentioned his alter ego on the court, and it really is. Like he becomes an absolute killer on the basketball court, and getting to coach that will be a lot of fun.
Was he telling the truth? Could you or could you not move during that time?
I was so far away from being able to move. He was 100% telling the truth.
One final one for you, JJ. Of course, where you guys are as a team right now, obviously Rob has a job to do over the next several days and for the seasons to come in terms of this roster. But 9 games over 500, how do you guys capitalize on the momentum despite all this change right now?
Despite the trade, I don't believe our mission has changed, and I don't believe how we go about doing the mission has changed. And what we've tried to build throughout this season, and in particular over the last month, is a highly competitive, highly connected group that executes at a really high level, and that's the plan. And you can swap the pieces out, but that doesn't change.
Your first day here, you identified yourself as a basketball sicko. Mm-hmm. Does that change at all now?
No, I mean, if anything...
What do you become now?
47 games in, it's only reinforced that, yeah.
JJ, I appreciate the time always.
All right, thank you.
Guys, back to you. Welcome to LA, first and foremost. Obviously, this isn't a moment that sinks in overnight. You just mentioned that the last couple of days has felt like a month. How have you just kind of settled into your emotions at this point?
Yeah, I mean, still a little bit in shock, but really excited to be here. It's the Lakers, one of the greatest clubs in the world, so I'm really excited to get started here.
Speaking of that, whether it's walking into Crypto.com Arena or here at the practice facility, you think of the stars, the Laker greats. You can think about Wilt to Kareem, Shaq, Pau, Anthony Davis, and now your teammate and LeBron James, all who came here throughout their careers. But then, of course, they got the job done. When it comes to just handling the pressure that comes with the expectations of a franchise that's built on titles, how has your career prepared you for this moment?
Yeah, I mean... I wouldn't say pressure, but it's excitement, it's motivation. You come here, you see all the names, all the trophies. It's a big motivation to be a part of something this big, and I'm very excited to start working on getting a championship.
Speaking of that motivation, can you take us inside that a little bit, just from a standpoint of, obviously, Rob mentioned in the press release, your drive to win championships, your play speaks for itself, of course. You've been vocal about wanting to win at the highest level, but you know the narrative out there. Just in terms of your health and conditioning, has that motivation changed in terms of what fuels and drives you?
Yeah, I think it's a fresh start for me. So just not forget, but it's a whole new start, fresh start. And it's going to take me a couple of days still to realize I'm here. I'm a Laker, but so far it's been great. All the help, they gave me so much attention, so it's been great.
Final two for you. Of course, you've gotten a lot of questions about playing alongside your idol in LeBron and playing alongside a former teammate and now your head coach, obviously, with JJ. But on a scale of 1 to 10, how excited are you to be reunited with a guy like Dodo and play alongside him again?
10. That's my guy, man. That's my guy. We basically like I feel like we started playing basketball together, in Dallas. So we grew up as players, persons together. So I'm really excited, 10, to play with him.
We love that number. Last one for you. Rob mentioned day-to-day, but as you continue to get back and we welcome you on the floor, Laker Nation, what's your message for him?
I'm just really excited. It's like I said, it's the best club, one of the best clubs in the world, and let's get started on working for the championship.
Luka, again, congratulations. Welcome to LA. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Welcome back, champ. Markief, good to see you. How you doing?
I'm good. Happy to be back.
How have you been able to, first and foremost for yourself, process the last 60 hours?
Oh man, it's been a little tough, but it's the business. This is what we signed up for, so you got to adapt. And I'm just lucky that I was able to come somewhere that I've already been, and I have some familiarity with the people, and this is family for me.
You mentioned the business side, but then there is that human, emotional side of things, right? When you got the news, obviously a part of it, Maxi and Luka, how did you react?
I was a little shocked. I really didn't know what to think. I wasn't sure, in the beginning, where I was going or who I was going with. So I think that kind of had me shocked. But then once I found out it was Luka, I was like, it's my guy. So I'm happy to be with somebody that I know, and can't really be too mad because obviously they traded Luka, they can trade anybody. When
it comes to Luka, obviously you've had an up-close seat. What can you shed just in terms of maybe some things that Laker Nation doesn't know about him?
He's a low-maintenance guy. He doesn't need much. He's quiet. He doesn't. I'm not sure what the media portray him as, but he's a calm guy. Really cool. Real relaxed. But once he get on the court, it's gonna be amazing.
To having played alongside LeBron a handful of years ago, to now see him alongside Luka and you be a part of it. Have you thought about it? Have you given yourself a moment to envision that?
I haven't yet. I think once I see him on the court, it'll be like, oh yeah, this is what it really is. But right now, I'm still trying to process, get everything together with the move to LA and just trying to process these last couple of days.
For you personally, how have you, it's been a handful of years, obviously, since Laker Nation has seen you, 14 seasons now in the NBA. How have you evolved as a person and a player in terms of this league right now?
I mean, I've grown, obviously. I have a family, 3 kids and a wife. And obviously, I honestly, I haven't played much basketball since I left here. It's all about fit everywhere you go, and the fit hasn't been great for me on the court. Obviously, Dallas was a different situation where I was there to be a mentor, there to be like a bench leader. But I'm just excited to have a chance to actually play again. I think that's the best part of this trade, to play somewhere that obviously I won a championship and where I have family.
As we all know, you're a Laker champ for life, and we're all excited to have you back.
Yes, thanks for having me.
Welcome. Appreciate it.
Maxi, just to kick things off, what's kind of the latest with the injury and the rehabilitation?
The latest is I had surgery. I'm going to be reevaluated in 8 weeks, and then we'll go from there.
How can you take us through this moment from kind of first getting the news, processing it, that you're in the trade with Luka, and then what can you share about kind of the player that Luka is?
Yeah, so it's been obviously a crazy couple of days. I was already asleep like Luka because I came back from New York from surgery. And then I woke up at like 12:30, saw my phone and it was blown up, and I missed all the calls. So I waited until next day to reach out to everybody. Obviously, it's probably one of the biggest trades in history. But from being teammates with Luka, I've been teammates with him for like 7.5 years. You know, he's been growing over the time. He's become a better leader. He's become an incredible player, as everybody knows. So, you know, watching all this process of him growing as a player was very special for me, because I saw him even as a young kid in Madrid. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun here with him. So we're all very excited.
Was there a shock level for you to find out he was been traded along with you?
Yeah, I think I would lie if I would say there was no shock level. You know, obviously the caliber and talent that Luka is, I don't think you expect that type of player to be traded. But you know, we heard the story now on how it happened and why it happened and all this stuff. But me personally, I would say, yeah, it was overwhelming. Also, I was included. It's the first time I was traded, so there was a lot of information and a lot going on.
Rob Pelinka opened up his press conference today speaking about the international appeal of Luka and kind of how him plus the Lakers can reach fans around the globe. And you coming from Germany, just how much do you see this opportunity being, you guys could be the international team, even more so than the Lakers already?
Yeah, it's a lot of potential. Like I said, obviously Luka himself is a big brand. The Lakers is like one of the biggest brands in the world. So I think you already reach globally very far. But obviously with something that a blockbuster happening like this, it creates even more the opportunity to reach globally people, fans. You know, like the fan base that Luka has, the fan base overall that's growing in Europe and worldwide, and matching that with the Lakers, I think is a really big opportunity to grow even bigger.
You've seen how JJ and Luka have interacted. What do you think he can do for Luka as a player now that he's a coach?
So yeah, JJ came to Dallas. I was his teammate as well, and you know, he was a great guy, and you could already tell back then that he has a very high basketball IQ. The way he presented himself, the way he talked, and you know, even like his podcast showed very, very fast his intelligence, especially when it comes to basketball. So he's going to be very helpful because he understands the dynamics. He understands what Luka needs. He understands what everybody on the team needs, and that will help to create like the best opportunities for him. And you know, overall, the relationship that we had back then was with him like very friendly and very good. He's a very honest, upfront person. And I think that's exactly what players want, especially guys like Luka. He appreciates it. So I think their connection will be really good, and they have a good chance to grow it. Yeah.
Markieff used the word disrespect to describe the trade in terms of Luka. We've all heard the things that people have been saying about Luka over the last couple of days. Just knowing him personally, how do you think that's going to fuel him?
How it's going to feel to him?
Or fuel him?
Fuel him?
Fuel him.
Fuel him. I mean, to be honest, I think that's a question for him at the end of the day. I know Luka is a very competitive guy, and he wants to win no matter what. And obviously, the situation is whatever it is. You know, we all understand it's part of the business, so you can argue about disrespect or not. But at the end of the day, you know, you got to accept that it's a business and do what you have to do. It's still your job. But I know that Luka is a very, very kind person. You know, obviously, he took it to heart, and we all saw that, and he said it himself. But he's also going to use it, obviously. Generally speaking, I don't know if a guy like Luka needs extra motivation, because I've seen him work out and I've seen him work and how competitive he is over the years. So I think he was that type of person already before. But if you want to add some to it, I mean, he will be competitive for sure.
Have you even started thinking about what it would be like to be on the court at the same time as LeBron and Luka?
Me?
Yeah.
I have, but I have also not.
Yeah.
You know, I'm dealing with the injury right now, so I'm trying to focus on the rehab and get back as fast as possible. But hopefully, that's going to happen soon. Yeah.
Maxi, Luka's obviously a generational player. What did you see in his leadership in Dallas?
You know, I think he leads by the way he plays, how competitive he is. I'm pretty sure you followed this too, but you know, he had minor things going on. He was never one to back out. He always played through stuff. He doesn't really want to step back ever. You know, that's how much he loves the game of basketball. So seeing this every day, you're just inspired, because he's also playing very heavy minutes. So as a teammate, you know, you want to make sure you do your best yourself to be out there and support him during times of that.
There's been a lot of negative complaints about Luka the last couple of days. I'm curious what your reaction is.
Say again. Sorry.
There's been a lot of negative things said about Luka the last couple of days. Just what have your reactions been to what has been said about it?
I mean, I know Luka, so I know it's true or not. And if you get to know him, and you guys will, you see how great of a person he is and how serious he takes his job and everything he does. So with stuff like that and attention, I think there's always positive and negative news that come out. But, you know, he's a very good person. He's a very hard worker. He's a very great teammate. He's, like I said, been growing over the years. He's always pushed his teammates to become better. So I have nothing but positive things to say about him. So, but yeah, you know, I can't say it really here in front of you guys, but media is media, so stuff just happens and people want to talk. But from my side, I can only say that he's a really good person.
What was that last question? What was that magic group chat like that night of the trade? I mean, I know you were sleeping that morning. What was that group chat like with the team themselves?
Well, the group chat is, it's not really like, it's harder to explain, but at the end of the day, what happened is the trade happened, and then Luka texted and said, "Thank you, everybody." That's kind of where it left off, because the group chat was more so used for information and not for like text and basketball.
You have the unique experience of having played basketball with LeBron James and with LUKA DONCIC. What do you think it'll be like playing with both of them?
It's going to be exciting, man. Got two of the best players in the world. Obviously, top five players. LeBron, the best in the league. It's going to be super exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
How do you think they'll complement each other?
I think it'll be easy. You know, both of them used to playing with another dominant ball handler or another dominant player. So I think it'll be super easy. Luka did it with Kyrie, and honestly, Brian did it with everyone.
From your time here, what would you say is something that you've told Luka, if anything, about just the quality of this organization and what it's like to be a Laker?
Top notch. It's nothing like being in the purple and gold, but you know, it's night and day from Dallas. So just get ready for that.
Kind of going off Dan's question about LeBron and Luka, you won a championship alongside LeBron. Luka said that's his main goal going forward. What can Luka learn from LeBron in terms of what it takes to reach that level?
I think Luka knows what it takes. We were just in the finals last year. Obviously we lost, but I think he knows what it takes. I think Brian is going to boost him up a lot when it comes to you know how to play the game, how to make the game more simple for your teammates, how to make the game more simple for himself, and just to give him that extra level of being around the best player in the league.
There's obviously urgency in this timeline, considering obviously LeBron is in the sunset of his career. How long do you think it'll take for this all to gel?
Is he?
Good question.
Because the numbers don't say that, but I don't think it'll take long, man. These are two great players. And like I said, obviously I was with Luka in Dallas with Kyrie Irving. It was easy for those guys to play together, and I think it's going to be the exact same here.
Markief, you've been around the league a long time now, but you were just as shocked as everybody. How did you handle all that, and just thinking about all the machinations of the move?
I was definitely in shock. I really didn't know what was going on. I didn't have a heads up. I didn't know anything. I've been traded a couple times. This is like the first time that has happened to me. So, for a second, it happened so late at night. I got the call at 1 o'clock in the morning. Still didn't know that Luka was getting traded. I was getting traded with Luka, so I was kind of in a whirlwind. Had plans. Being in Dallas for as long as I was, I just bought a home like Luka did. So, obviously I thought I was going to be here, but this is the business, and you could be here one day and go tomorrow.
So they call you and they tell you you've been traded to the Lakers.
No, they didn't tell me that. They just told me I've been traded.
That's it?
Yeah, that was
and you didn't know anything. When did you find out where you're going?
I cut the TV on, just like everybody else.
What was your reaction when you saw it was LUKA DONCIC?
I think it was the same reaction everybody had. It's just real. Like when my agent sent me a text and it's from Shams on Twitter, because obviously I was in a world when I'm trying to think what's next, what I got to do, set everything up, and then I seen Luka and I was like, what? Am I reading this right? Or what's going on? And then, I just laid back in the bed and I was like, well, it is what it is. No, I said they could trade. If they're gonna trade Luka, they can trade anybody.
Hey, Markieff, what's your sense of what Luka's chip is coming off that?
I feel like there's some sorts of disrespect with him. Like I feel like he's like, you know, he obviously he thought he was going to be a Maverick for life, but you know, everybody told him, and you know, we all thought that he would have a statue next to church in Dallas. So yeah, I think he felt, you know, I know he was sad about it. I know he didn't feel good, but you know, a couple weeks ago passed, and obviously he had that purple and gold, and everything changed.
Markieff, there's been a lot of negative things said about Luka in the last couple of days. What is your reaction to some of that that haven't been his teammate?
He's a great guy, man. Super low maintenance, don't need much. One of the only guys that I've been on the team with that will play through any injury if he can get on the court. I hear stuff about him not being in shape, but if you can go in an NBA game and get 30, 15, and 10 like it's nothing, then I don't really know what shape is. I'm confused at that part. But yeah, and you'll see it really soon.
Markieff,
you'll make the suggestion if he's in shape or not.
Markieff,
for everything you've been through, has it settled in yet? A lot of fans are still feeling like they're processing it. It seems like you're kind of a little, landing up too.
Yeah, I mean, like I've been here before, so you know, at least I was able to come back to somewhere where I had some familiarity, place that I won a championship, and you know, still have a lot of people around that. You know, when I was here. It hasn't really set all the way in yet. Obviously, I packed my stuff up as fast as I can and then ran here, so I haven't been able to unwind a little bit and let it all set in.
Keith, LeBron and AD were the last two members of that championship team on the Lakers. Now it's you and LeBron, the only two members on it. How often do you reflect back to that time? And obviously you didn't really get to experience life as a Laker afterwards. So how much are you looking forward to that?
I guess this is everything happens for a reason. This is my time to experience it the way I'm supposed to. You know, obviously I came in a COVID season. Both of my seasons was COVID seasons, so I didn't really get the full experience of being a Laker. And I'm just excited to be back. And like I said, I couldn't imagine being traded anywhere but here. And if I'm not traded here, you probably wouldn't have seen me.
Markieff, what do you think is the next level?
One at a time.
What do you think is the next level of Luka's game? He's only 25, like you mentioned, and now that maybe there is a chip on his shoulder and everything else that happened ending in Dallas, what do you think that next level is for him?
Just winning the championship, all the number accolades. I mean, you average 30 and I don't think no more numbers can be put on to what's the next level. I think just winning the championship and obviously one day winning the MVP, but I think the championship is on his mind more than anything.
Last one here with Derek.
What do you think LeBron can do for Luka?
I think you can do everything for him, man. Luka was in a small market in Dallas. So it's not super small, but being here in LA, he's going to grow his brand. I think LeBron definitely can help him. With just growing his brand, with being the superstar that he is, and getting the right recognition. Obviously, too, on the court. But like I said, you check the numbers, man. It's not too much you can help this guy with on the court. Just simplifying the game for him a little bit more. Just all the little stuff, I think.
Thank you.
Good morning. Before I start talking about the young man next to me, I want to thank Jalen Hood-Schifino, Max Christie, and Anthony Davis for their incredible service here. There's no player that played as big a role to our 17th championship than Anthony Davis, who's also a person of incredibly high character. So those three guys are Lakers for life, and just want to thank them before we start. No. So, in thinking about today and what it means, I think LUKA DONCIC joining forces with the Los Angeles Lakers is a seismic event in NBA history. And the reason I say that is because we have a 25-year-old global superstar that's going to get on the stage of the most popular and influential basketball brand on the globe. And I think when those two powerful forces come together, it brings basketball joy to the world, because that's how Luka plays. He plays with joy. And if you think about kids in Barcelona or kids in Buenos Aires or children in Shanghai or Sydney, they're going to be wearing a number 77 LUKA DONCIC Lakers jersey and bringing joy to basketball just like he does. And that's why it's powerful. I think the leadership of Adam Silver and the way he's bringing the game to the world, you see it in Europe, you see it in Africa, what the NBA is doing. And now we have one of the game's biggest superstars, an international player coming to join the Los Angeles Lakers. It's a convergence of all those forces, and I think it's going to be something incredibly special that the NBA and basketball has never seen before. So to get to this place, there's a couple people I want to thank. First and foremost is Jeannie Buss. She's so supportive. I think her vision, which falls in line with the great and late Dr. Buss, to always make sure the brightest and best basketball superstars play for the Los Angeles Lakers. She's clearly carried that vision on from her dad, and I just want to thank her for her tremendous support and vision in helping this day become a reality. The second person I want to thank is anytime there's a trade or a transaction, there has to be a partner, and I want to thank the Dallas Mavericks, led by their GM, Nico Harrison, who was also very instrumental in bringing this opportunity to us and then staying true to the negotiations throughout, where it could be culminated with the trade being finalized and LUKA DONCIC, Maxi Kleber, and Markieff Morris becoming members of our team. So wanted to thank those two people. And now we'll start with questions.
Hey, Luka, there's the video the Lakers put out the other day of you noticed somebody was talking to you in Slovenian during a game in 2019. It's Kobe, and you turn around, you have the moment with him after the game. And just think, how do you go from that to then now joining the Lakers with LeBron James and just thinking of the legacies of those two players and you having the chance to be the next one?
Well, first of all, I remember the exact moment that happened. It will always stay, in my mind. It was an amazing moment. Just for Kobe to know my name was amazing for me. And, I just wish Kobe and JJ were here to see this moment. And, I'm excited about this new journey and happy to be here.
All of us here standing here waiting for you to come. What's your reaction to seeing all of us here to welcome you to Los Angeles?
Well, first of all, it's very nice. There's a lot of people here. I don't think there's ever been so many people in my press conference, so I really appreciate all the support.
Luka, welcome to Los Angeles. I'm curious, what's your reaction been the last 48 hours to some of the comments coming from Dallas on your way out the door to join the Lakers?
I'm just excited, to be here to start this new journey, and obviously at some point I knew this was going to happen, but I would say I always take the high road. I had my amazing moments in Dallas with all my teammates, coaches, and most importantly the fans. They always supported me, and it was an amazing journey.
Hey, Luka, Dan Wicke with the LA Times. Welcome to LA. You, in a podcast with JJ years ago, said that the one NBA player that you watched was LeBron James. What is your kind of reaction to being able to now play with him, and how do you think that's going to work for the two of you guys on the court?
It's just like a dream come true, I always look up to him. There's so many things I can learn from him. And I'm just excited, just to learn everything, and now I get to play with him. So it's an amazing feeling.
Zdravo, Luka. Jovan Buha with The Athletic.
Just kind of following up on that, how do you see you and LeBron specifically, just the two-man game between you? You both can screen for each other, hit guys out of the short roll, create playmaking opportunities. Just how you guys both see the game. Very few can see it that way. Like, how do you see that fit from a passing, playmaking, and just two-man game perspective?
Yeah, I think we both make our teammates better. I think our IQ is very high, so I think that's going to help everybody. But obviously, I really haven't think about basketball much these days. But I'm just excited to work with him. I work every day here, so every day that goes by is going to be better.
Luka, Kobe Price, SoCal News Group, welcome to LA. Got one for both you guys. First for you, Luka. I think you even wrote in a social media post that you thought that Dallas is going to be a place that you're looking forward to win championships, staying for your career. Emotionally, what have the past 48 to 60 hours been for you in coming to LA?
Well, it was hard first. That first day was really hard. I felt like this last 48 hours was 1 month. Like 2 days ago was 1 month ago. So emotionally it was really hard. But every day that like today was much better. I'm just very happy to be here for this opportunity. It's the Lakers. It's one of the best clubs in history. So I'm excited to be here.
And for Rob, Nico was speaking with reporters, I believe on Sunday after the trade. He praised you specifically for, keeping the negotiations between you two up until, I imagine, the final moments. At what point did you, introduce this trade idea to Jeannie, and what was her initial reaction when you told her about it?
Yeah, so this all started with the coffee in Dallas where Nico approached us with the concept, and because there was a partnership and a history of travel in the world between Nico and myself working around Kobe Bryant, there was a fabric of trust in the discussions. And these type of deals are incredibly intricate and complicated. And along the way, we knew there would be 248 insurmountable snags to get to the end, and there were. And so over the course of 3 weeks, call it, an issue would come up, and we'd think there was no way to climb the mountain, and we'd figure out a way. Then the next issue would come up, and you just keep going, and you stay committed to the work. You stay committed to trying to get the deal done in a partnership sense. I think a lot of people talk about negotiations in terms of who won and who lost. I try to approach a negotiation in the sense of how do we build a partnership where we can get to the end. And I think that was the lens that we worked and the premise we worked under. And when the concept was initially introduced to us, it was, hey, the only way we can even have these discussions was if it's between owner and GMs. And there was a commitment to that. And if we broke that commitment by talking to anyone else, this day would never happen. So I think trust was at the center of all those discussions. And I called Jeannie after the coffee in Dallas and brought her in immediately, as I do with everything. Her and I have a really strong working relationship, and the fabric of that is that we share things in real time. And she was extraordinarily excited and hopeful that we could get to the end, which we were able to do.
Hey, Luka and Rob, Melissa Rowland, Fox Sports. Over here. I have a question for both of you guys. Obviously, from the league's biggest superstars to fans, people were shocked that the Mavericks were willing to deal a 25-year-old superstar in his prime who has another 10 years at least ahead of him. What was both of your guys', Rob, what was your level of shock that this was even on the table? And Luka, what was your level of shock that the Mavs were willing to deal you?
I try to take everything in stride. I think, it's interesting if all of us watch Luka play. He has a combination of basketball joy and killer instinct, which is really rare. That was number 8, number 24. And I think learning lessons from that mentality are to stay in the moment. And so I don't think of it in terms of shock, surprise. I think of it in, okay, this is coming at me. It's like a game. Maybe a blitz is coming at Luka. He's not going to be shocked. He's going to stay in the moment, figure out the read, and make the play. And so when the opportunity came to me, that was sort of my mindset, is to, okay, this is coming. This is a concept that came to me. Now, how do I process this mentally to get the deal completed? And right away, when it was brought up at the coffee, my mind started churning. There were so many complicated things. We have the Mavericks are hard capped at the first apron. You know, the Lakers are up against the second apron. There's trade kickers. There's going to be a third team that's going to have. So my gears were turning about the deal the same way his basketball mind is processing a play. And so I just tried to live in the moment, and I tried to carry that with me for 3 or 4 weeks as this was unfolding. And by staying in the moment, I think it helped us get to the end.
I mean, everybody was surprised, so you can imagine how surprised I was. I was almost asleep, so when I got a call, I had to check it was April 1st. I didn't really believe it at first, and it was a bit shock. It was hard moments for me. It was home, so it was really hard moments for me, especially the first day. But as I said, you know, I get to play in the greatest club in the world, and I'm excited for this new journey.
Luka, over here on your left, Malika Andrews with ESPN. It's good to see you. Welcome to LA. You've been a fan of LeBron. You've talked about it for a long time, but he's also been a fan of you. He's tried to work with you at various different times in the past, whether it be shoe deals or other things. I'm curious, what message did he reach out to you with? Was it a text? Was it a call? What was that? And how did that fuel the way that you think about coming to LA as well?
Yeah, he called me right away. He was in New York, so he called me right away. And we didn't talk much because, you know, he said, I understand what you're feeling. But that was really nice of him just to call me right away and welcome me to LA.
Hey, Luka. We've heard from so many other players across the league, Anthony Edwards, Steph Curry, Giannis, talking about their shock at this and also what it means for how teams feel about players and how no one's really safe, quote unquote, to use Steph's words. What have players said to you, and what has it meant to you to have them speak out the way they have?
I saw some comments. I wasn't really trying to be on social media these days, but I saw some comments, and it really means a lot. You know, we are rivals, and they speak about me that nicely, so it really means a lot to me, and sure. Oh, directly, I haven't talked to a lot of people, really.
Hey, Luka, Nikki K with Spectrum News right here. So emotionally, you go from thinking you're going to spend your career with one fan base, and now you arrive in a new city. First of all, impressions of Los Angeles and its fans from afar, and what does this opportunity to have another love story with LA goes?
Yeah, I would say, like you said, I thought I was going to spend my whole career there. Because I think loyalty is a big word for me, and I was trying to stay by that. But this for me is a fresh start. I get to play in LA. The fans are amazing, and I got the ocean here, so it's a really big thing for me. But really, I'm really excited to be here. I getting to play for the Lakers, and everybody can say that. And many legends pass here, many championships. So that's my goal.
Luka, Brad Townsend, Dallas Morning News. So you wrote a Dear Dallas letter to fans that was, very heartfelt, and you talked a little bit about, your shock. How are your feelings toward the upper levels of the organization, Nico in particular, or the decision to trade you?
Well, I mean, that's their decision, so I have no comment on that. They made the decision. I don't know why. But that's their decision, so I can't do nothing about it.
And then one of the reasons that was given was that there was concern that, beyond this summer, or that there's a chance you might not agree to the Supermax extension. Did you or anyone on your inner circle indicate that might be the case?
Absolutely not. It's easy as
Luka, over here, Bill Plaschke, LA Times. Do you feel you have something to prove? Sorry? Do you feel you have something to prove?
Sorry.
Do you think you have something to prove?
Oh, okay. Sorry. Yeah. Obviously, yeah. Yeah. That's it. Win the championship. You don't come here for nothing else than championship. So I have everything left to prove. So, and the goal is to win the championship.
Hi, Luka, good to see you. Mark Medina with Athlon Sports and Sportskeeda. How do you address the criticism that's followed you on your way out about concerns about conditioning and durability?
It's a motive. I know it's not true. I know, but it's a motive. Like I say, I came here, one of the biggest clubs in history of sports, so it's a big motive for a long run here.
I'll just add to that one, Mark. I think greatness is an evolution in a process. And I think if you're striving for perfection, as we are as an organization or as a player, you're going to have challenges to make yourself better until you don't play anymore. And so I think that's just something to keep in mind. I would assume the question will be forthcoming, when is Luka going to play? I'd rather just take that one head on. Our sports performance department is led by Dr. Leroy Sims. Luka's got trusted sports performance folks that are going to become part of our family and Dr. Sims' circle. And they're working together as we speak about a return to play plan. We have 5-on-5 scheduled tomorrow for Luka, and we're going to take it one day at a time just to make sure that the calf injury is in a good and safe place. So I would truly say at this point he's day to day. We're going to take it one step at a time. But if all those days go well and Luka feels good and confident, he'll be in a game soon. But we're going to partner with him. And I should mention, too, his amazing team who's now part of our family, led by Laura Beth and Bill Duffy and the rest of the folks that are here today. When we make decisions around superstar players, and we partner and collaborate with them, and that'll be our process with Laura Beth and Duff, who are incredible at what they do.
Jared Greenberg with TNT. Rob, you stole my question there. I was going to ask Luka, I guess more about that, just hear from you what this process has been like. You've gone through it now 4 times with this calf. So what have you done to get back on the court? How are you feeling? And how confident are you in that this won't be a reoccurring injury?
Well, for the first time, I took my time. Get it to heal 100%. Other times, I think I just wanted to go back on court playing basketball and not really be healthy 100%. So this time, I just took my time, which was normal amount of time to get back to 100%.
Luka, David Pingalore, KTLA. Over the last couple of days, I talked about your conditioning, but maybe your lack of defense. What is your commitment to being a better defender?
Yeah, I think this year I really stepped it up honestly, and it's just being more active, more vocal, and I think I did a step ahead this year, but I need to do more steps ahead. So that's what I'm planning on.
Hey, Rob, just obviously make a blockbuster move like this. What is your balance of thinking long-term with 25-year-old and then also just the short-term, knowing that the deadline's coming up on Thursday, just balancing the long-term vision with the short-term?
We know that our roster has continued work to do to become complete. And just to be clear around the vision for our roster, we're going to build a roster that fits JJ Redick's philosophy, his basketball philosophy. That's something that we believe in, that we support, that we want to lean into. So in terms of roster decisions, JJ and I collaborate extensively around that and fitting how he wants to play. We know we have a need for a big. The market for bigs right now, leading into the last 2 or 3 days of the trade deadline, is very dry. There's just not a lot available. So maybe we'll be able to do some stuff around the margins. I would say in terms of a big move for that position, it's probably more realistic that would be something that comes in the offseason. But Luka will be at the center of that as we build for the long term. We want to format a team that fits JJ's coaching style and his strengths and his needs to help us win a championship with the other people that are also on our team right now who are going to be a big part of that winning as well. But your question was about long term, so I'm speaking more to long term.
Luka, I know you had about 13 games as a teammate with JJ in Dallas, and just wondered what that was like for you, the relationship that you formed, and then your thoughts about playing for him as a coach.
Yeah, I mean, first of all, he couldn't move at all, so it wasn't moving. No, but it was a great relationship. I really respect him. You don't see me go on podcast. I went on his podcast twice, so you know how much respect I have for him. So I'm really excited that I can play for him.
Rob, good to see you. Along the same lines with the trade deadline and all of that, the window for Luka, 25 years old, coming off a finals appearance last year. LeBron, 22nd season, 40 years old. Like, what's the urgency level to have this team in the immediate future reach championship contender status? And whether that immediate future is between now and Thursday or the offseason going into next year, just kind of what is the view in terms of the timeline to get this team to be able to contend?
The urgency is ever present. From the first day I started taking this job till I sit in the chair right now, there's always an urgency to win championships. That's what the Lakers set out to do. That's the expectations of our fans, and we're going to put in the work to constantly try to do it. At the same time, you have to be realistic, and if there's not a championship big on the market right now, I can't wave a wand and create that opportunity. We'll continue to work and look for areas that we can complete and fill out the roster. But as we saw with this trade, it takes two teams. But we'll continue to build. Luka and I spent some time yesterday up in my office just talking about the players on our roster he's played with and kind of what he sees as sort of short-term and long-term needs. And I think we'll continue to have those basketball discussions and get this roster to a championship level.
Luka, Mike mentioned JJ Redick, your former teammate. You've got Maxi and Markief over there. Dorian Finney-Smith is a player you've spoken very highly about in the past. Greg St. Jean was a coach you've worked with. How is that going to help as you take on this crazy life change, having all these familiar faces be here for that transition?
I think that's a really good thing, to come to a new place, but still know some people. And I think that's mentally, I think that's a really good thing, and they're gonna just help me. The guys that were here, they'll help me learn new stuff about LA, about the team, and it's just helpful to see friendly faces.
Edwin Garcia, Silver Screen and Roll. My question's for Pelinka. Rob, when you're talking about a championship caliber big and aligning with JJ Redick, what do you think the values in that position are required in the modern NBA?
Versatility, mobility, a vertical lob threat. I think that's a key to the spacing that Luka likes to play with. Competitive. I think those are some of the core things there. Those players are hard to find, but we'll accomplish the task that's before us. We'll find a way.
Rob, over here. As far as just the future and the moves that you're going to be making, designing the roster, planning, how beneficial and important is it for you just to know you have Luka, you have maybe a decade that you can use as a roadmap in terms of just every decision you're looking to make?
It's a gift. We're talking about a 25-year-old that is top 3 player in the universe. I can't think of a more amazing starting point to build a roster for the next decade. And I know he has the drive to win that we have here. Our fans are going to see that every night on the court. I know up here he might seem calm and casual and quiet, but we know the alter ego comes out, and we'll see it at crypto.com soon, and I can't wait for it.
Thanks, everyone.
Oh, you're right. He moved quick up here. Right. So he was slow.
Guys, right down here.
About 10 more seconds, and then we'll do down in front, please.
Guys, one more right down here. Thank you. One up.
All right, down in front, please. Thank you.